After years of trying many different sports and activities and not being able to find any that I liked, I tried out equestrian in second grade and it stuck. Ever since I joined the equestrian team, I had always loved to tell people everything that I could about the sport. People would always get interested in what I had to say because not that many people knew much about equestrian and less people knew that the school had a team. Towards the end of the year in 8th grade, when I had finally gained the courage to mention that equestrian was missing on the list of sports that we could participate in once we got into high school, I got the response of, "I didn't forget it, that's not a sport." Though I was very used to hearing this at that point, it still made me upset for the lack of recognition that equestrian had at the school and in general. I've been told more times than I can count that equestrian isn't a sport. People most often assume that it's very fancy or way too easy or simple to even be a sport, but what actually makes something a sport? Though what qualifies an activity as a sport can be seen as subjective, the general definition of a sport is an activity that involves physical exertion and skill. Based off of the general idea of what a sport is, why would equestrian be seen as any less of a sport than more mainstream sports like soccer? Is it less of a sport because it looks too easy, or is it just because of the lack of recognition it has? Since equestrian doesn't have that much acknowledgement in the sports world, it's hardly ever brought up in places other than a barn or a showground. But when it is mentioned outside of those places, people still get very interested because it's something that they don't know much about or don't hear much about. Since it's a more uncommon sport, I've been a part of a very small team for quite a long time. After years of different requests and much more involvement in the community and going to many more shows, the team started to grow and gain more members and gain more recognition as a sport at the school. Hopefully, as our school team has grown and gained more recognition, the sport overall will as well.